He thinks this person must be the top evolutionary from the previous life, known as the monarch-level powerhouse called Waterlord. So I tapped the screen, agreed to Han Zhao's request, and asked him to pay attention to other pioneers who can all be invited in. Soon the system prompted Shuichuan to join the group chat. By evening, Lully called Song Ziqiang and said she had found out that the Lord of Jiangcheng was collecting zombies. They will collect the zombies they have gathered. All containers were sent to the container terminal in Jiangcheng. Before she could finish reporting, the scouts sent out earlier were thrown out. When she looked up, she saw a man with short blue hair. Lully realized that she had been discovered. The next morning, at Song Ziqiang's villa, a person named Lu Huai. He said there were some things he didn't understand and asked me to help him take a look. After he sent over the attribute information, I took a brief look. He was told that the cost of activating the ability is quite high. The average initial ability of a normal person is only 3 to 5 points. If the spirit is not lower than 3, it consumes spirit to activate the wooden body. The reason is very simple. Constitution is the foundation. Don't act like a glass cannon. Finally, he thanked me and ended the conversation. At this moment, Song Ziqiang hurriedly came to me in a panic. I asked her what happened that made her so anxious. She told me that Lully found some information. The collected losses were all sent to the container terminal. However, Lully was also caught, and now they are asking her to negotiate. I heard that they contacted Song Ziqiang and slowly got up, then asked if Lully had betrayed her. Unconsciously exudes a strong pressure while speaking. Song Ziqiang hurriedly knelt at my feet and said, Master Lully is someone I have nurtured. I am very certain she will not betray. And she is commanding from the rear this time. The problem should lie with the people she sent out to investigate. After listening to her explanation, I said I would rescue her. Meanwhile, at the container terminal, Lully has been tied up at the dining table. The person who captured her is called Shing Ming. Shing Ming at this time held up the red wine and said to Lully, You are a bit ignorant. I didn't do anything to you to save face for Song Ziqiang. If she chooses to submit, you will be my subordinate. If you don't submit, you will all be my playthings. He said as he was about to make Lully drink the red wine in his hand. But at this moment, I suddenly appeared at the side of the dining table, eating steak on the table and saying Shing Ming is really lacking in manners. How can you force a pretty girl to drink alcohol? At this moment, Shing Ming only has one thought. When did this guy sit there? So he did not act rashly. Instead, he took a step back and asked me who I was. I first fed the steak in my hand to Lully. Then I said I was here to take this beautiful lady home. Shing Ming sat on the chair opposite and said, Was it Song Chiqiang who sent you?
No.
You must be a pioneer if you can get this close without me noticing. I didn't answer him, but untied Lully Song first and let her go out first. After seeing that I didn't answer his question, he spoke again. It seems that Song Ziqiang is already yours. After Lully approached, I turned around and firmly told him that he was right. The Queen of Jiangqing shouldn't be so easy to surrender, right? You must have many interesting means. We can discuss. I am still very interested in these. Among the 3 major powers in Jiangcheng, I have tamed the city lord. You have tamed the queen. Now only the commander is left. Come assist me in becoming the king of Jiangcheng. I can make you my confidant. I smiled slightly at the corner of my mouth after hearing it and rejected Shing Ming's proposal. He was first stunned and then told me that he is an S-level talent. This is the highest level of talent. I walked towards him and said, I looked around before I came. You are not only collecting zombies, but also creating zombies with living people. Your kind of thing is harmful with powerful abilities. It's better to die early. S-level is not the highest level, because my talent is SSS level. As soon as I finished speaking, Shing Ming's hand grew an extra claw and introduced his talent named Slaughter. Can permanently transfer some attributes of the killed target to oneself. I secretly sighed after hearing that it is actually a combat talent with unlimited growth. The claw should be an equipment. Before I could finish thinking, Shing Ming possessed me and rushed towards me. Seeing this, I remained calm and summoned bone claws to defend myself. After he landed, it seemed like he used some kind of skill. The aura on his body suddenly surged. I thought to myself that it seems he didn't fully disclose his abilities. I don't know what effect this skill has. Be extra careful. The next moment, he leaped up to my head again. I put away the bone claws and replaced them with a heavy hammer to meet him. The moment the two collided, it created a powerful impact around them. Even the ground beneath my feet began to crack. Then I summoned bone claws to push him away. However, he landed and then accelerated again to rush in front of me. And he blocked my fist that I was about to throw out with one hand. How come I see that you are already running out of energy? Aren't you an SSS talent? Don't hide your strength. My talent has long been in play. You just haven't noticed. Shing Ming thought I was being tough after listening. With a strong push of both hands, he pushed me back. Then, followed by a quick step forward, he knocked me out several meters. Clearly, his strength, physique, and agility are all lower than mine, but still have to keep up appearances. Any flamboyance is futile in the face of absolute power. As a result, as soon as he finished speaking, he spat out a mouthful of blood. Many negative pop-up messages appeared in front of him, one after another. At this moment, he was already unconsciously. I have applied countless negative buffs to him. After watching the system prompt, he widened his eyes in horror and asked me what was going on. I stood up and mocked him. Your physique is indeed good. It took so long for the virus to take effect. How does it feel to have so many illnesses? My words completely enraged him. After cursing me as a despicable person, he launched his skills and charged at me again. However, this time I first ducked under his claws. Then I immediately pierced his body with bone claws. Then I began to release devouring tentacles to wrap his whole body. I use all my strength to try to make the absorption faster, because I can't wait to know what it will bring to me after absorbing him. What kind of reward can it bring to myself? He will be absorbed almost completely in no time, leaving only those sharp claws. At this point, the system reminded me that I had absorbed a human evolver. The blacklight virus completes its initial awakening, provides a significant increase in attributes. Blacklight Spring's devouring ability evolves, allowing you to choose to view and devour certain memories of the target. Low probability to obtain any skill mastered by the other party. I see the attribute bonuses provided by the blacklight virus. From actively using to becoming basic attribute bonuses. This is a huge benefit. Open my properties panel to view. Found that each item has increased by 20 points, and they have all been added to my basic attributes. After checking my attributes, I picked up the claw on the ground and checked Shing Ming's backpack. He must have killed mutated zombies to have so many attributes and equipment. Otherwise, it would be impossible to have so many attributes and equipment. Seeing equipment blueprints and consumables inside, this person is quite lucky. And there's even a C-grade blueprint that I don't have. But now all of these are mine. After tidying up these, I thought to myself, since that day when I returned to the past, my talent has been upgraded from E to SSS. The rumors of the 3 major strange events have also brought me rich rewards. At the same time, I also conquered Song Ziqiang, the future lord of Jiangqing. With my current strength, it's becoming not worth the effort to search for the scattered monsters before the trial arrives. It's already a bit of a loss. It's time to decide on the layout and preparation for the days before the arrival. Try to lay out and prepare for the development after the arrival. Song Ziqiang quickly opened the car door when she saw me coming out. Respectfully said, "The master, please get in the car." After returning to the villa, I assigned a task to each of them to Song Ziqiang. After a few days, they all came to me to report. First, Lully spoke up, with the mountain villa area as the center. The data such as the terrain and population of the delineated area has been confirmed to be accurate. After the doomsday arrives, we can start cleaning up immediately. Complete comprehensive control and occupation. Then Su Xian spoke up. The procurement of materials has been completed, and the list has been organized and sent to you. Then Song Ziqiang asked me if the time was almost up, and if there were any other instructions. Nothing more. You did a good job. I took out my phone and sent a message in the group. 10 minutes before the trial arrives. Don't be discouraged by the advantage of those who are ahead of you, or be proud of having rare talents. The dangers brought by the trial are beyond your imagination. I don't want anyone in the group to disappear in 10 minutes. When there are only 10 seconds left, I called them all to come over and take one last look at the world. Because soon this quiet and peaceful scene will become history completely. As the final second ticks away, time arrives at 12 o'clock on June 15th. The moon in the sky, even the entire sky, turns red. A system prompt pops up in front of everyone. The trial of the Blue Star Doomsday has officially begun. The city was already paralyzed after just 2.5 hours. The surviving humans have awakened various talents, and you can level up by gaining experience. The remaining races that appear because of the trial will also participate in this life and death competition. At the same time, countless mysteries and world rifts will appear in the Blue Star, and I just stand by the window, watching all this faintly. Suddenly, at this moment, the system prompts the binding of the hourglass of time. I looked down and saw my hourglass glowing. Suddenly, I realized it was not good. They are still here, and the hourglass cannot be known by anyone. Just as I shouted for them all to get out, I found that time here seemed to have stopped. Not just this villa. It's as if the whole world has paused for me. Then the hourglass emits a strong light, leading me into a void. I looked at the information panel in front of me and learned that this thing is called the Hourglass of Time. The ability is to go back to any point in the past. The cooldown time is now reduced by 72 years. It seems that my rebirth was indeed caused by the hourglass. Then I saw a skill for saving the state. Soul binding, after use, mark the current body and mental state as skill status. And no cooldown time. There is another state reading skill. Read the saved state after use. Reading does not affect the items and memories held. The cooldown time is 1 hour. I couldn't contain my excitement after watching. This life-saving skill is simply too powerful. After I finished reading these introductions, time started flowing again. Song Ziqiang just heard me calling her, so she asked me if there was anything I needed. After I came to my senses, I said, "Please quickly confirm the safety inside our villa. Night is very dangerous, be vigilant at all times. Start cleaning the villa area as soon as it gets light." By the next day, the world had completely changed, and there were also some zombies gathered in front of our villa. Song Ziqiang also successfully awakened the S-level purple crystal eye last night. Objects can be transformed into amethyst for offense and defense. Strength increases with mental power. Just as the zombie was about to approach, the insight crystal was activated again. View target attributes. Effects change with the difference in mental power. Now the zombies are being analyzed thoroughly in her eyes. After knowing its weakness, one swing of the knife will chop off the zombie's head. Cold Frost awakens A-level Talent Assassin. Concealed breath, not easily detectable. Agility increases by 30% in the shadows. Increase attack speed by 100% for the first hit on the target. These zombies didn't even have time to scream. They were all taken away by the high attack speed of the Cold Frost. However, the security guard at the villa was also injured. Su Xin awakened with a B-level talent for recovery. The speed of self-injury recovery and physical strength recovery has greatly increased and can be actively used on others. By the evening, I saw that the villa area was already completely under our control. I'll tell Lully to hand this place over to them first. I still have some things to do myself. After saying that, he leaped into the air and disappeared on the spot. The first day of the apocalypse before rebirth, the one I saw. The symbol that appeared over Jiangxing University. It was a long time before I understood the meaning of that sign. But it's too late to regret now. So this time, I must seize this opportunity. After I arrived at Jiangxing University, I first devoured the loss on the ground. After waiting for a while, I finally saw that mark. This is a sign that all evolutionists hope to see. It is the sign of the projection avatar of that deity descending here. I dare not linger too long and run towards the mark. I was stopped by a person who suddenly appeared on the way. Not many young people as strong as you in the early stages of the trial. I am a merchant. Are you interested in doing some business with me? After I saw this person's attire clearly, I spoke up. I am honored to have the opportunity to trade with you. What's so honorable about trading with a merchant? I am fortunate to have heard of your divine name and seen your emblem. I look forward to seeing you every day. The god of trade, Lord Redu, who is kind, fair, generous, wealthy, and powerful. Lord Redu was very happy to hear it. Just take out a green card and give it to me as a gift. Then explain that this is the membership card of the Goblin Business Association. Enjoy a 20% discount when purchasing items at the Goblin Business Association. As I took the card, I thought to myself, in the previous life, when I saw him, he was already immune to praise and flattery. It's really advantageous to be one step ahead. Then he opened the store to me. The most prominent thing inside is a Thunderwalker exclusive scroll, valued at 5 million gold coins. There is also a legendary sniper rifle called the Death God. It turns out that the Thunderwalker profession scroll is purchased from here, and there are many rare profession items from the previous life. So I said as I drove back, I really want all these things, Lord Reduo, but I can't afford them now. Leto smiled slightly after hearing it and said, of course, I know that the trial has just begun, and the currency in the hands of the evolvers must not be much. But there is no garbage among my goods. Strive to acquire wealth and look forward to trading with you in the future. As soon as I heard that he was about to leave, I felt speechless. So I stopped him and said, although I can't afford your goods, Lord Lay Duo, I heard that the gods cannot check those who participate in the trial. Investing in evolutionists can profit in the trial. You must also be here for investment purposes, right? Rado was amazed after hearing that I know quite a lot. Then he asked if I wanted his investment. I heard that you have a treasure coveted by the gods in your hands. No evolver can resist it. You won't regret investing it to me. Investment is something that must yield returns, which is the coveted possession of the gods. What makes you think you can bring me returns far beyond its value? Even if you are my worshipper, I won't do a losing business for you. As soon as he finished speaking, I summoned the bone claw. Then I summoned the heavy hammer in the other hand. Finally, show your SSS level talent to Leto. Leto's eyes lit up when he saw the SSS level talent. Moreover, this talent is different from the talents he knows. The Blue Star trial field is indeed interesting. But I didn't plan to invest that treasure so early. But little one, I've decided to give you a chance. If it weren't for your exceptional talent, there would be no other divine aura on you. I wouldn't agree to it. I was delighted to hear him say that, thinking I could get that treasure. As a result, Lay Duo shook his finger and said this is not enough. Talent does not represent the future. Even among the gods, there are those with talents below a level. To obtain my highest level of investment, still need to prove value with own strength and growth. After saying that, a task box popped up in front of me. The goblin and the god of trade, Redu, have issued an SSS level task to you. I saw it, and without thinking, I chose to accept. Before leaving, Redu handed me a gold coin, saying that when I complete the task, you can summon his projection with this coin. After taking the coin, I asked him, can I take a look at the treasure coveted by the gods? After Leto agreed, he summoned a scroll. SSS level special item dual profession scroll. Allows the user to have two professions simultaneously. And the dual professional attributes growth bonus and skills take effect at the same time. I was stunned in place when I saw the dual professional. When I came to my senses, Lay Duo had already left. Then I opened the task panel to check. Task objective: find the special secret realm instance within Jiangxing University. Defeat the creature that Lay Duo is focusing on. Give a part of his body to Leto. The rewards and interpretation rights belong to the goblins and the trading god Leto. However, in the previous life, I didn't hear about any dungeons here. Inside the gymnasium of Jiangxing University at the same time, several men were beaten up and fell to the ground with bruises and swelling on their faces. The perpetrator is a strong man with awakened talents. He now wants everyone to take off their clothes, make the appearance that satisfies him today, and beg to become his slave. Otherwise, there is only one way to die. Although several people are injured, but the response given is to daydream. You villain. Tom, upon hearing this, was immediately filled with murderous intent. He threatened that no one present would be able to escape. The girl who knew him originally wanted to advise Tom not to go too far, but he was slapped directly and flew away. Suddenly, the door of the gym was smashed by a huge force. Before everyone could come to their senses, I heard my light words drifting over. Kid, are these students you beat up? Just at the moment Tom responded, what happened? My figure has disappeared in place. The next moment, he transformed into his claw form and appeared in front of him. Now that you have admitted it, then you can go die. Another person immediately picked up his fist and rushed towards me upon seeing the situation. However, in the terrified gaze of the girl, I slowly spoke and asked, do any of you study in the medical school? I need someone familiar with the medical school to help me find something. The answers I get are either artistic or from the literature department. Someone pointed to the girl lying on the side, indicating that she is the only medical school student here. Seeing me looking over with a scrutinizing gaze, the girl quickly explained. She did not physically assault anyone. She was just passing by. She just passed by. Upon hearing this, the crowd couldn't help but burst into laughter. Fortunately, one of the girls took the initiative to step forward and clarify for her. She said she was trying to persuade those two not to fight. After understanding the whole process of the matter, I decided to keep this girl. Others can leave now, and specify that they should go to the villa in the east of the city for shelter. Just mention the name Chonbai, and someone will pick them up. After hearing this, everyone looked worried. You should know that there are zombies everywhere outside now. Leaving the school is no different from walking into death. If you can't face the zombies now when you hear me say, once those zombies and monsters evolve on a large scale, by then, they will be in a dead end. Although everyone was shocked by the news, they still thanked me for showing them the way out. After everyone left, the girl immediately came up and asked, can I go with them? Why did you leave me? I saw that I didn't give any response. A bold idea suddenly emerged in the girl's heart. Said aloud, I got it. You want to get me. So that's why you kept me by your side, right? As long as you don't use violence against me, I am willing to be your woman. I responded with a smile. You misunderstood. I'm not interested in you. Did you not hear me say I need someone to help me find something? The girl who learned the reason lowered her head in shame.
I'm sorry.
I was too scared at the time and didn't hear what you said. But you can't underestimate me. There are many boys pursuing me at school. If you don't believe, I can prove it to you. I also responded with a smile and 2 words. Okay. After 1 minute, faced with the girl's complaint that walking is very painful, can we take a break before heading to the medical school? I told her it's not too late to rest when we reach the destination. In no time, the two arrived at the research building of the medical school. Learn from her. There are many bacteria and virus samples in the research lab on the 3rd floor, and there is a special incinerator in the basement. However, when I saw the colorful viruses inside the instrument, a smile unconsciously appeared on my lips. Although most of them are influenza viruses used for experiments, but the number of virus points provided is still very considerable. But just then, the system panel suddenly popped up. The influenza virus can be upgraded to a brand new skill. Now I have also upgraded it and opened the attribute panel. It shows above that this skill can reduce all attributes of the target and sneeze with a negative status attached. Once triggered, it can interrupt all chanting, charging, and aiming skills. Seeing the situation, I was immediately delighted. The ability to sneak around is just so satisfying in combat. While previously browsing through the talent skill tree, I never paid attention to real-life viruses. It seems that we must pay more attention to this aspect of upgrading in the future. But thinking about the tasks released by the god of trading, they must not be simple. I also used the remaining virus points to enhance my strength. 2 new passive skills will be unlocked soon. Among them, flying over the walls can significantly improve directionality and balance. Focusing on combat can enhance dynamic vision and reaction speed, and double the controllability of all muscles in the body. I immediately began testing muscle strength. As I slowly extended my arm towards the wall, there was a loud bang. The entire wall was instantly covered with several cracks. The girl who saw this scene was suddenly filled with fear. Just now, fortunately, he did not use this vibration ability. Otherwise, I wouldn't even know how I died. As someone who understands the principle of this skill, I smile faintly. After all, with this ability to control all muscles. Even a slight touch can trigger critical damage from a normal attack. Just a slight touch can trigger critical damage from a normal attack. Although I came to my senses and was curious about the reason for the girl's blushing, I still asked her to take me to the incinerator to find out. As the door of the incineration room opened, just as expected, here is the entrance to the mission's secret realm released by the god of trading. As you enter the secret realm, the system panel pops up. The incinerator for cooling special instances is activated. Sensing the monsters inside starting to awaken, I immediately activate the claw form and prepare for battle. The next second, the zombies covered in white cloth suddenly sat up violently. At that moment, I was also prepared for battle. Faced with the zombie rushing towards me, I raised my hand and sent one of them to meet the king of hell, but soon discovered another zombie above my head. It seems like he is accumulating some kind of skill. Then a special energy wave pours down. I just sneer at this. You know, what the mage fears most is casting with too long a pre-shake. So, Godi. There was a loud bang. My hammer-shaped fist hit the zombie directly. Accompanied by the system prompt, I gained 1,000 experience points. I couldn't help but marvel at how this truly lives up to being a special instance. Just one of them can bring such high experience gains. So I turned my gaze to the remaining zombies in the room. Come on, I hope you can bring me more surprises. And so I decisively started the hunting moment. It took less than 2 minutes. All the zombies present were successfully dealt with. Of course, this also directly raised my level to level 4. And what is coming next is boss hidden in the incinerator. Until after a loud explosion, a hideous zombie appeared in the incinerator. A hint of danger was sensed on the zombie. There was only one thought in my mind. That is to kill him while he has not completed his transformation. Strangle him in the cradle. But what I didn't expect, my full force blow was easily blocked by the arm he evolved. I immediately activated the flu skill. However, the system sent a message that the skill was ineffective against the target. At the same time, the fist swung by the zombie hit me hard and knocked me to the ground. I saw the zombie had transformed into a biomutant. In the ruins, I felt no fear. Instead, I burst into laughter. You should know that ever since my rebirth, I have never encountered a battle that truly challenges me. So this guy is just the right one to test my skills. As expected, after several rounds of fighting, I was pleasantly surprised to find this zombie, besides being powerful, surprisingly, it still has the ability to regenerate quickly. But now what I fear the least is endurance competition. Thinking of this, without hesitation, I activated the status reading skill. I want to see if he really is immortal. Just like this. After a 2-hour meat battle, I said sarcastically, "Why is your response speed so slow this time? Could it be a bluff?" Before long, my light words echoed throughout the entire room. "Hurry up. I've been waiting so long that even the flowers have withered." After 5 minutes, the biomutant has completely lost its regenerative ability, while I wear a satisfied smile. So exciting. But it's about time to end. Just crush the bioman with one kick. A series of system panels suddenly popped up in front of me, not only containing the experience rewards from killing the biodemon. Even the cooled incinerator has been transformed into a permanent instance. Even able to upload the clearance process as a paid strategy video. I decisively clicked upload when I saw this scene, and covered my appearance by setting a mask. Inside the Dongshan Villa area at the same time, Su Xing is helping Song Ziqiang regain strength. But soon Song Ziqiang seems to have discovered something, only to see a notice posted in the chat group. It shows above. The Evolver has posted a completion video of the Nightmare level secret dungeon, although it costs a copper coin to watch. But whether it's Song Ziqiang or the other evolutionists in the group, choose to watch for a fee at the first time. She couldn't help but widen her eyes when she saw the video. After all, with her strength. In the video, she has to slow down to see clearly. Other evolvers also have a new understanding of the strength of the group leader. Has one force broken all laws? This directly led to a heated discussion within the group. On the other hand, I successfully devoured the biochemical demon and obtained 300 exclusive evolution points. although this evolutionary point can only be used to evolve the blacklight virus. But for me now, it's truly a rare treasure. The system quickly prompts the blacklight virus to evolve. Not only does the extra life recovery speed increase by 300%, it also triggers the passive ability of the biochemical demon, cell regeneration. It is known from the introduction. This skill can achieve limb regeneration in a short period of time by consuming a certain amount of physical strength or energy. Achieve limb regeneration in a short period of time. I was overjoyed to see this scene. After all, this way, there will be no need to worry about physical injuries in future battles. So, it's time to check out the rewards for killing the biodemon. The first thing is a biodemon exclusive scroll. According to the system prompt, its effect can absorb other life forms to enhance its own strength. However, absorbing too much may lead to genetic breakdown or mutation. Another special armor called the Faceless. Even after checking the introduction of the item on the panel, I still can't figure out the specific function of the Faceless. So I focused on the items dropped by killing the little monsters, except for some ordinary leather equipment that can be used as inner armor. It also includes a skill book for activating degrade cells, although it can enhance life-saving abilities in a short period of time. But for me who has cell regeneration, this skill book is useless. But the thought of being able to exchange it for other items in chat groups, a smile unconsciously appeared on my lips. So next, just hand over a part of the biodemon's body to Redu, even if this task is completed thoroughly. But just as I was about to leave the instance, suddenly realized that this matter seems not so simple in my mind. Remember, Redu is not a merchant in the game without purpose. He must have other purposes for coming here. After all, he did say something when he left. Today's unexpected gains are quite pleasing. I hope you can pass my test. Considering these factors, his original intention was very likely this special copy, and the value of the loot currently bursting out of the copy. There is no need to have a deity project themselves in person. In other words, there are unknown entities in this instance that I have overlooked. Thinking of this, I plunged into the incinerator, because in the entire copy, this is the only place I have never set foot in. The fact is just as I thought. It wasn't long before a strange pipe was found in the incinerator. However, after some exploration, it was discovered. At the end of the pipeline was actually a dead end. Holding a skeptical mindset, I subconsciously knocked on the wall next to me. The result in the next second, a golden mask suddenly appeared from the wall. Without saying a word, I punched up immediately. What surprised me was, the mask emitted a strange light at this moment. Then the system panel popped up a prompt. The mask is the main factor causing the phenomenon of the incinerator. Even the will of the universe cannot decipher its function. Even the prop name contains a question mark. I quickly formed a conjecture in my mind upon seeing this. This is very likely a fragment of an SSS level item, or it could be one of the items related to the gods. In other words, the mask is the real purpose for Redu to come here. But good things must be found a way to control in one's own hands. Just walked out of the incinerator dungeon. She immediately excitedly shouted at me, "White, you in the video are really amazing. I must give you a thumbs up." Hearing the two words video, I couldn't help but ponder. According to memories from the previous life, the warehouse protected by the will of the universe can isolate any detection. It is the best way to leave props without being discovered. I decisively opened the system panel. Although unlocking the warehouse requires a total of 1,000 gold coins, but judging by the speed of gold coin growth, I believe it won't be long before it can be successfully unlocked. Shortly after, the two of them walked out of the school gate, facing her question of whether to go to the Dongshan Villa area. I told her that there are many unknown dangers at night. We must find a place nearby to stay overnight. Upon hearing this, she immediately suggested going to a hotel near the school, and explained that the hotels are all located on higher floors. Shouldn't encounter any danger. In a cozy couple hotel soon. She, dressed as a nurse, spoke. "I thought you chose this hotel just to see this." But I smirked and told her that I did want to see this, but I don't like your current style of dressing. Even though she changed into 3 different types of clothing in a row, The response she received was not due to a lack of elegance, just not very appealing. It wasn't until I put on a costume with beast ears that I felt satisfied and nodded. That's when I nodded in satisfaction. Tonight, you will be a little pet. Early the next day, accompanied by opening the warehouse function, the mask was successfully stored in the warehouse. Then he threw out the coin that Redu gave him before leaving, looking at the pattern of the god of trade appearing in front. I couldn't help but smile. It's amazing how things suddenly become interesting. And there has always been a saying passed down from the previous life. Emotions are one of the chips traded with Leto. As long as enough value is shown in Leto's eyes, he will take care of the emotions of the trading or task object. Adjust the type of task rewards accordingly. Soon, Liduo appeared and asked, I didn't expect you to summon me so quickly. Have you completed your mission? I threw a part of the bioman's body over after hearing it. Seeing the meat chunks rolling at my feet have already deformed. Leto knows well that the monster has been dead for a long time. Why did you question me when I clearly completed the mission last night? Why didn't you summon him directly at that time? I pretended to be puzzled and asked back. I have always held you in awe, but you seem to have concealed the true difficulty of that instance from me. If it weren't for some means of my own, I would have probably died in that nightmare-level instance long ago. Hearing this, Leto explained the reason. This is also part of the test. After all, treasures of that level. He wouldn't hand it over to someone who can't handle unexpected situations. Fortunately, Redu knows he is in the wrong. Tell me that this time's mission reward is up to me to choose. And skipped unnecessary mission steps straight to the final stage. I immediately praised him fiercely for achieving the goal. Then I saw Liduo snap his fingers. Let me use B-grade top-quality items as the limit. Choose anyone as a reward. I saw that I chose the blueprint for the town scroll. After Leto said, You do have a good eye. He decisively issued the final task to me. However, the moment I saw the task board, I was stunned on the spot. After all, the reward for this mission turned out to be 2 SSS-level professional scrolls. Not to mention the difficulty of this mission. Even if you are a god, you are not born with an SSS-level profession. While Redu had a wicked smile on his face, saying this is his best treasure. It must be entrusted to someone capable before he can let go. Shortly after, a mutated giant rat appeared in the Dongshan Villa area. It wiped out 2 Tin-Man squads in just a moment. Song Ziqiang and others hiding in the ruins have too low a level. There is absolutely no way to deal with this monster. But just as Song Ziqiang ordered the wounded to retreat first, Frost suddenly seemed to have discovered something. The next moment, a mutated giant rat rushed over in an instant. Fortunately, Frost immediately tackled Song Ziqiang to the ground. This avoided the unexpected from happening. But before the two could react, the mutated giant rat launched another attack towards the two. With a swoosh, I kicked it heavily to the ground. Seeing this scene, Song Ziqiang couldn't help but be overjoyed. With a swoosh, I kicked it heavily to the ground. I ordered Schwanger to go clean up the battlefield and provide appropriate compensation to the fallen soldiers. Song Ziqiang was left behind to explain the situation. Soon after, it was learned from the scattered reports that many mutated giant rats suddenly appeared around the villa, causing casualties of nearly 100 people before. Because I can see that several people have been very tired these days. So I asked them to rest first. I will go clean up the giant rats around the villa. Find out the source while you're at it. Song Ziqiang, seeing the situation, came up and said, Master, if we all go to rest, won't there be no one to serve you by your side? So I want to recommend someone to you. With the door being opened, Song Ziqiang introduced. This is Qin Lingyu, intern lawyer. She is willing to be your person and assist you in setting rules. I waved my hand to let others take a break. Qin Lingyu then spoke. Master, just tell me what you need me to do. I raised his chin and asked back after listening. I heard that you guys in this line are good at talking. Come and let me experience it. Upon hearing this, Qin Lingyu's face immediately turned red.